Alright, what we want to do now is let's upload that file we downloaded where we get the red ink cartridge step file. So we'll go ahead and upload that. And that takes a moment to spin there, but let's go ahead and close, and then we'll open that file up. Okay, and because that's a step file, we'll see when we first bring it in, it is not assembled. So let me undo that. And first thing I want to do is just do a rigid group assembly. And the best place to pick all those components is right in the browser. So we'll go ahead and say OK. That's pretty simple. Okay, make sure I save that. And then next thing I want to do, before I make copies of this for the 4 different colors, I'm going to want to bring the spring in and assemble that. And so first I'm going to open up that coil spring, and what I need to do is I'm going to make the origin visible, and I need to create a joint origin. Okay, so go ahead and select that origin as the location of the joint origin. Okay, and the problem I was having earlier, I was having the joint origin, but for some reason it was not constrained to the spring. So there was no geometry constraint there. So what I'm going to do is I'm again going to do a rigid group between that and the joint origin. So now they're constrained together. And I can make that origin unvisible. I need to save that file. Turn off the visibility there. Let's go back to the red ink cartridge. Okay, next I'll go ahead and bring in my spring. And you'll see that pops in just fine. I'll go to assemble, and I'm going to select joint. Let's make sure we pick that joint origin with the end of the barrel. And I got a little bit of a problem with this because if you're paying attention here, you'll notice at the bottom there's no design history captured anymore because these files were started as step files. So that causes a little bit of a problem for us. So what I want to go ahead and do is just right now make sure I move this up about 1 inch just to get that spring on the barrel, so it's going to look good or on the ink cartridge rather, so it's going to look pretty good when I do the assembly. I'll go ahead and say OK, and you'll see now the spring pops into place. Okay, so not too bad. So now the other thing we probably should take care of is modifying the material. So if I go and modify physical material, you can see these parts are still metal. So I'm going to open up metal in the library, and let's make this, instead of steel, make the tip brass. And then if I go back to plastics, we'll close that metal, and let's open up plastic. And let's just find just the basic plastic here. Basic plastic for the top, transparent plastic for the barrel, and perhaps we'll just use plastic for the red ink. So if I go, I can just select colored ink there, and let's see how that's going to look. Go ahead and close that. And even though we picked and selected transparent, it was not really showing up very well. Let's see, if I close ink cartridge, we can see that we do have red ink there. So now that I have that all saved, okay, I've got my red cartridge ready. Now I can do a save as, and I can rename these as green ink cartridge. And then all I've got to do is go in and change my paint jobs on these. So we'll go ahead and modify the physical appearance and find under paint, glossy green paint, so I can paint my ink and paint my color selector. Okay, and go ahead and close that. Make my ink cartridge visible again. Save the file, and so on. Okay, so you can now do that for the remainder black and blue ink cartridges. All right, so there we go.